to the Financial G-Spot. I'm Robin Crane, and this show is all about focusing on that specific thing that you need to focus on so you can feel awesome about money. And coming from you, I won't say live, but I feel like this is live, coming from you from my bedroom, because this is the Financial G-Spot, I thought for once I should be filming in my room. So I got my friend Todd Polke here from all the way across the world in Australia, and he's just sitting in an office starting his day, and I'm getting ready to go down for my nap. How you doing, Todd?
Yeah, really good, Robin. Great to see you again.
Thanks so much for being here. Let me tell the audience how amazing you are so they know who they're talking to. So I'll read a little bit of your bio. Todd Polke is a wealth and lifestyle strategist specializing in helping people to get in flow with their money. That's what I'm talking about. And take control of their financial lives so they can create more choices in how they live their lives. Awesome, awesome. Totally in line with what I believe. As a property investment coach and educator, he has guided his clients to invest in over $700 million of investment-grade property and is an international speaker on wealth creation, property investing, and lifestyle design. You've also written 2 books to help people transform their lives and be able to invest. Nice. Thanks for being on the show, yo.
Oh, no worries.
So I'm sure what I like to know always kind of start off with, because a lot of people watching this show are young entrepreneurs. They're just starting. They may have a job. They may have a business. But I'd love to know your background as far as how you started, how you got into this, if you did have a job or if you went straight into business, and just give us a little background of where you came from.
Yeah, for sure. No problems. Look, I suppose for me, it actually more started out of school. Like, you know, I was never an academic at school. I was kind of an average. I really couldn't give a flying rat's.
You can say it on this show. You can totally say ass.
Say
Yeah. Live it up. You can say fuck if you want. It's amazing.
You know, I was more into my sport. You know, I played judo for many years of my life. I was more into, competing and doing different stuff like that.
Wait, hold on. You played what?
Judo.
Judo, like judo chop? Is that where that comes from?
Austin Powers has a lot to answer for. He really does.
Yeah.
No, judo chop does not exist. Just for everyone listening, it's a load of utter Hollywood garbage, and I've copped it for 15 years since that.
Can you show us a real judo move then to put us all?
I need to kind of throw someone or strangle someone.
Really?
Or something. So unless
wow.
Unless I can reach through the screen and kind of flip you or something like that, or I can choke myself in. That'd be a lot of fun,
That'd be awkward. I'll be sitting here talking to myself, looking at you die, not being able to help. How do you call 911 in Australia? How do you call 911? It's probably not 911, right? 144? What is it?
000.
000. That seems easier when you're dying on your deathbed.
Too many things to remember.
Yeah, right? Okay, carry on, judo chop. Okay, judo, Mr. Master.
And so out of school, I was thinking about what the hell am I going to do in my life, and so health and fitness was my passion. I went into personal training quite quickly. I went into studying exercise science at uni, and I spent a bit of time in the army. So I just decided to do a whole lot of stuff in a very short period of time. So I've probably had one job in my life, and that was working in a bar when I was about 18 years old for about 12 months, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Since then, I really have been in business.
Wow.
Self-employed isn't really a business. It's just a glorified job, really.
Right.
And
a glorified job that you don't have to listen to anyone about, though. You could fail all on your own.
Yeah, absolutely right. So, I did that too, so that was a joyful experience.
We all did.
And, my whole version about personal training, my day would start around 4 in the morning, and I was running those boot camps, and I'd go through to about 7 or 8 o'clock at night when I was training people, and then I'd go home and actually keep working to run the business side of things. And so my day would be 4 o'clock to 11 to midnight, pretty well 6 days a week, and be surviving on 4 hours sleep. Because my whole version of being successful is that the more hours I work and the harder I work, the more successful I'm going to become.
Right.
Now, we both know that doesn't actually work. That's just some fantasy that we're taught that we're supposed to do.
Which is not even a nice fantasy. Not like this fantasy.
Right? No, it's a much better fantasy, absolutely. But yeah, that's what I did. I just thought, well, I'm just going to outwork everyone around me, and I'm going to be successful. And, surviving on 4 hours sleep, my health was suffering, a personal trainer getting sick all the time makes perfect sense. My partner at the time, didn't really, I wasn't spending any time with her, so it wasn't exactly a happy home life and all that type of stuff. And,
Right.
I even remember, getting to the end of the year and sitting back and looking at the last 12 months and just looking at how everything was falling apart, and then looking financially and going, do you know what, I'm working 16, 17 hours a day, 6 days a week for, 51 weeks of the year. And I'm still treading water financially.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't earning over, 70, 80,000 at the time and that type of stuff, no matter how hard I was working. And it just didn't make sense to me anymore. And, I always believe when those things happen, you kind of, things pop in your head, right? You go, well, this doesn't make any sense. I'm going to start looking for some other options. And
Right.
I know you'll probably find the same thing when people listen to your show and the stuff that you do with your coaching. People come to you because they start looking, something doesn't make sense. I'm looking for some other options in life.
Right.
And I started doing that. So I did the whole Rich Dad Poor Dad thing and the Think and Grow Rich thing and all the standard PD personal development type of books we always read. And then I bought my first property when I was 19, and I only had $10,000 in the first homeowners grant, which is just a little grant the government gives you here in Australia to help stimulate that property market. And got my first deal, moved into it, renovated while I was living in there, and wound up making $70,000 in my first deal in the space of 6 months.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we want to learn how to do that. So we're going to have to go to a break in just a sec. So we want to find out. We want to find out how you did that. So we'll be right back after the break. Welcome back. You're watching the Financial G-Spot. I'm Robin Crane. If you haven't gotten my book yet, make sure to go get it. It's called Mind Over Money Management, Strategies Your Financial Advisor Won't Give You. So there's some nuggets in there. Oh my gosh, I have one right here. I really didn't plan this, but I do have this because I got to send it to a client. This is what it looks like. You can get on Amazon right now. Kindle's only $2.99. It's amazing. I think you probably have it because Australia helped me become an international bestseller thanks to you guys. So you might have it. But anyway, we got Todd Polke here. He's just telling us how he invested in his first property and basically matched your income the first time. So I would say oftentimes it's very dangerous, like when you invest and then like it works the first time so well. So did it actually continue to work, or did you have one of these like then you got greedy and started investing, and then boom, went bankrupt like most people?
Yeah, and my story follows pretty well that path, right? So, it did work, and I did get, after that, I got out of personal training and stuff I was doing. I went into residential real estate, then went into property investing. I got a job in property investing. And so I really went into it hard, and I was expanding my portfolio very aggressively. And, you've got this 19, 20, 21-year-old guy with a lot of ego thinking he's the king of the world, and and with some equity and stuff like that, that's a very dangerous recipe, that is.
Right.
So I overexpanded too quickly, and I didn't protect myself. And I pretty well lost almost everything because of one silly mistake, which then just rolled on and rolled on and rolled on, and just opened up this nice, brought the house of cards down, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that was a privilege to
not to predict your mistake or anything. It's just, I know so many multimillionaires who are super successful now, and they're doing like what you're doing and helping other people invest, but they had to go through that. You had to really invest hard and watch yourself fall so that you can learn how to invest properly. And I had a feeling that you went through that because so many successful people do. But what was that one little mistake? Is it something that we can learn from, or is it just like one thing that's not necessarily repeatable that just happened?
No, I dare say a lot of people repeat the same mistake.
Okay.
Right? So what I was doing is I was pulling equity out of my properties to then go and use for deposits and costs for more deals. And I was using some of that equity to put a buffer in place for my portfolio because my portfolio was negatively geared at the time. And so I was putting a buffer in place to cover that negative gearing. So I was using debt to pay debt. Now, when that system works, it's beautiful. And it's the thing of beauty, it seriously is. But when you make one silly mistake, like something happens in your bank account, and the one direct debit that was supposed to go out to cover a mortgage repayment didn't go out. So
is that what happened?
That was what happened. One missed payment.
No way.
And it was around the time when the bank started tightening everything up, and so they then said, no, we're not going to let you get any more equity out until you can show us a track record for over 3 to 4 months. And so I was leveraged to the hills, and I didn't have my buffer in place because I couldn't get all this equity out of these properties that I was trying to do to then go top things up. And so there was a massively negatively geared portfolio and another property coming up for settlement, which I had to chuck all my spare cash into.
Oh my
and
God.
It all just went bang, 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 bang.
Wow. And did you have to file bankruptcy?
No, I didn't file bankruptcy.
Oh,
I didn't go all the way into the red. Probably went about. I sold most of my properties, so I still had a couple left. But went about another 100 grand in debt or something like that. But then I started digging my way back out of it again. So thankfully, didn't do the bankruptcy thing. Although it would add to my story very nicely.
You'd be making even more millions by now if that was the case. So, what was I going to ask you? So I wanted to know, okay, so what are some things like that you teach people now as far as investing, like some general rules to make sure that they don't do what you did or make the same mistakes?
Yeah, look, protect yourself first and foremost, right? I mean, that's so important. Investing or your finances, let's just call it your finances in general, you've got to treat it like a business, right? Most people, the only time they ever get to their finances is when they have a bill to pay or when they're in trouble. That's when most people actually do anything about their money whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to actually shift your mindset around that and actually think of it as a business. And that means you actually have to spend some time on that business, not only in managing your money. I heard this great thing is that if you can't manage the money you've got, then why would you give them more money to manage? That was a really, really key thing that stuck in my mind. But you've got to treat it like a business, and your business needs to stay completely separate from your own personal life. And so it's this self-operating entity which isn't intertwined with your own personal life and your ability to actually live. And I've had the experience of living on baked beans and rice because I'm funding a property portfolio, and it's really not fun, and I don't want to do that. I don't want anyone else to have to do that. So certainly protecting yourself and setting up your buffers and keeping them as separate entities is critical. But to me, everything starts from understanding with what you really want in life. We spoke about that already, and you have very similar philosophy. Everything starts from what do you really want in life, and then you reverse engineer it. Like when you've got that strong why, that driving burn, that driving passion around this is what I want my life to be about. And then you start asking the question, well, what do I need to do in my investments to be able to create that result, to be able to live that life? Then that really just gives you such a beautiful, strong why to then reverse engineer and create a strategy around to get there. So business, protect yourself, strategy, and have a strong why behind what you're doing. I mean, those are such critical elements.
Awesome. So we have a couple more minutes before we go to break, but would you, like today with, I obviously don't know, I don't know if it's obvious, but I don't know as much about real estate as I do about the market, but right now, at least the stock market is close to its all-time highs. We're very recent to all-time highs. Like, do you believe that there's still time for moving forward for people to really make a lot of money in real estate, or do you think that it's about to crash, like some people think the market will? Or what are your thoughts on that? As far as is now still a good time? Should I get in? Is this a path that I should follow?
Look, every year someone comes out and talks. I'm talking about specifically about Australia right now, right? Just because I know that market a lot better than the US market, obviously. But every year someone comes out and talks about the property bubble. Every year, property's in a bubble, it's going to crash, and everyone's going to die, and we're going to see 50% drops. And I've been hearing the same thing for 15 years in the market now. Right. So, and you know what? Some areas are in a bubble, absolutely, but some areas aren't. So I always believe there's a way forward, and it just depends on which path you want to take and where you want to go down for it. So some areas in Australia I wouldn't touch with a 40-foot pole. The same as some in the US. Some areas in the US you wouldn't touch with a 40-foot pole. But there are some pockets around which still offer some really nice opportunity, and I definitely see that in the real estate market in Australia. And I know a lot of people that are investing in the US and have been doing doing very, very well out of it as well. So I still think there's opportunity. It's just you look at the market and you go, okay, well, where's the opportunity in this market? And that's when you go down your path.
So Again, this is Robin Crane. You're watching the Financial G-Spot, and with Todd Polke, and we'll be right back after the break. See you in a sec. Welcome back. You're watching the Financial G-Spot on the Whatever It Takes Network. I'm Robin Crane here with Todd Polke from Australia. You're in Canberra, right? The capital, yes?
Yeah, well, the political capital anyway. No one thinks this really is the capital.
The political, I've been there actually, and I was like, really, this is it, you know, but everybody kind of has that feedback around it. So, awesome. So I wanted to, before we tell them what you think, whether or not you should flip properties or buy them for rentals, tell us where we can find you if anyone wants to, and tell us also, like, who's the type of person that you typically work with, so that person will know that they should contact you.
Yeah, sure. I work with people that want to actually create some different choices in their life. That's who I really work with. You know, as much as I love property, we've been speaking a lot about property. At the same time, I don't give a flying rat's ass about property as well. You know, in the end, it's just a tool. The same way as, you know, I've done a lot of trading and shares and business and internet, and I always look at it as a tool. And when I look at all these different things, I go, well, what's the purpose behind this, and how is this going to help me get to my ultimate result in my life? I mean, that's what I'm always asking the question about.
Yeah.
So when I really work with people, it's people that actually want to start creating some more choices in their life. They want to create more, financial security. They want to create more, financial freedom. They want to create more choices so they can live life on their own terms and live the life they want. And, you know, I'll mix a lot of financial stuff, but then a lot of psychology stuff and a lot of, stuff around every other part of their life, whether that is their health, whether that's relationships, or whether that's around they're getting better, doing better in their workplace or their business, or that type of stuff. So I really like to take it very much of a whole life. I call it the wealthy life, which has nothing to do with money, right? It's got to do with living a wealthy life in every aspect of it. So that's who I tend to work with, whether that being some coaching or whether that's in my events I run and those type of things. So,
and I love just how you put it around choices, because I mean, money is all about choices. I mean, why do you want more money? What do you really want? You really want more choices. You want freedom. You want flexibility. You want security. You want peace of mind. Well, that's just a choice for you to do what you want, when you want, whenever you want to do it. So that's beautiful how you put that. So it's best to go to your website?
Yeah, definitely just head to the website, which is www.toddpolke.com.
We'll write that for all us Americans who cannot understand Australian. We'll definitely put it out there for you. So go to toddpolke.com and you'll get more. So let's go back into it. Okay, so since we are talking about real estate, and we can move on from that for a few minutes if you want, but let's just go for see what happens here. If you're going to invest, do you think it's better to invest and flip or buy rental properties, or it depends?
Yeah, the answer is it depends. And look, to be honest, anyone that says to me that this is the only way you should do things, I think they're an idiot, right? I really do.
Yeah.
And
I'm so glad I didn't say that. Cause then
I wouldn't think you would, Robin. That's why I was happy to.
Thank God. Woo! That was a close one.
I could be in trouble there. Anyone that says that, I think they're an idiot. And I actually think they're being negligent, right? Because anyone that sits there and says, renovation, it's the only way you should do real estate, I honestly want to give them an uppercut, because it's not the only way.
And you know how.
Yeah.
To give them an uppercut. Judo.
No, judo doesn't do uppercuts. No, it doesn't do uppercuts. Judo chops.
Is that really, really extremely ignorant? I just had to say it. I had to say it. Okay, you were saying no uppercuts in judo. Got it. I've learned something today. Carry on.
It'll serve you for the rest of your life, Robin, I promise. Especially if you meet judo players and you say judo chop joke. It doesn't go down well with judo players. Just
it doesn't work. Someone's going to write a comment down here. Robin, you are the idiot. You don't have to follow that instruction. You can back me up. Okay. Carry on. I'm just having fun. Okay. You're on.
What the hell was I talking about?
You want to give someone an uppercut if they say this is the only way.
Right, uppercuts, got it. Because, every single person is at a different stage of their life. They have a different, wealth type of personality. They have a different financial situation, different risk tolerance. There's so many different variables and different knowledge bases, so many different variables in people's lives. It's not funny. And so putting a one-size-fits-all approach in any type of strategy, whether it be business, whether it be financial, whatever it is, it does not work. You've got to take into consideration every single aspect of this person's life. and then go, okay, well, based on where we want to go and based on where you are right now and based on who you are right now, what do we need to do to start bridging this gap and start hitting some milestones along the way? And so, strategy, I always think about three different strategies going at any point in time, right? The first strategy is your long-term, more blue-chip, buy-and-hold type of strategy, whether that's for property or whether that's for blue-chip shares, or whether that's for holding gold, or whether that's for artwork. Who cares? It doesn't really matter. The whole outcome about that is it's a long-term asset which is going to grow in value, and ultimately you want to own outright to give you a passive income for the rest of your life, right? So you can have some more choices. Along the way, we need some cash flow. So we to support our cash flow, of the investment, the financial business, and support our serviceability to continue getting loans, and also to separate the businesses as we go along. So serviceability and cash flow. So we're going to need some strategies which are going to do that, whether that's positive cash flow property or whether that's doing more conservative trading strategies like covered calls or something like that on the market or internet business, whatever's going to create cash flow for us. And then the final one is more about creating chunks of equity, which is more trading strategies where we're buying and flipping, or maybe we're doing foreign exchange trading or options trading if you've got your balls strapped on tightly to do that sort of stuff.
And just to be clear, we're not recommending any of this. We're not saying to do this. These are just options that exist. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, I'm making some points. Yeah, don't go out and run out and try and do all of that. Definitely.
Right.
And it's all about then you're creating chunks of equity or chunks of cash that you can then take and apply to these other situations, these other type of strategies. And so you might trade property or flip property to create some big profits, 50, 100 grand chunks in cash, to then go pay down the debt on those better quality properties you want to hold forever and a day. So you always have three different strategies going at any point in time. And just depending on who you are, where you are, and where you want to go is what we're going to be applying at the time and what's happening in the marketplace as well.
Okay. I just heard my dog, who wants to come in, pretty much attack the door. I was like, I was like, she's only 15 pounds. I don't know what she just did, but got distracted. Okay, awesome. So I'm kind of curious, because you have your business, you do coaching, and I didn't mention this too much, but you do coaching and speaking, and you teach a lot of these principles. So I'm curious do you make more money from your business, from the active work you're doing, or more from the stuff that you've set up for your wealth?
Yeah, from a business standpoint, I make more from business now. Okay. And it's just, I'm just good at what I do. So the events I run and that type of stuff, it does really, really well. So I make more from business now, but my portfolio is coming along really, really nicely. And I've retired once before, and I got bored out of my mind after about 6 weeks. Had to go and do something again, right?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Awesome. Cool. Anything else that you'd like to share? Like any tips, any advice, anything about, you want to talk about your books real quick and tell them how to find the books before we head off?
Yeah. So the books are literally about to be released. I don't even know how to find them
wow.
just yet. So they're at the publishers right now.
You can't have them yet. That's right. You just got to go to my website, go to my list, and just wait.
Stop it. You got your book right beside you. But
so you don't have one of these puppies yet. I gotta tell you that it's like the first day I got my actual book in my hand, I was like, oh my god, it's real. You can write it, you can, all day long, but when you got it printed, it feels nice. So.
Have you got a whole bookshelf just with your books on it?
No, not yet. I only have two books so far. It's a very thin. I do have a bookshelf. It just has 2 books. But I'm going to start one.
100 of each book and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's right. I could put 100 of them. And then I got a whole bookshelf of my books. Well, I can add Trevor's. Trevor has a couple best-selling books. And our daughter's book is coming out. Since you asked, I'll just mention it. Yes. Well, she's now 8. She wrote it when she was 7. It's coming out, I think, next week on the 22nd. She's already pre-launched it and is a #1 international best-selling author. Our daughter, 8 years old. I know, it's impressive. It's amazing. But you can get that book. This is really not going to help you make money at all, but it will help you entertain your children. It's called The 3 Ninja Kitties. And you have a daughter, so you should definitely get it. But it might be, how old is she, 3? 4. Might be a little advanced for her. There's just one part that, I was reading to, I just read it to my friend's daughter who's 4. And there was one part that went a little bit past her. But it wasn't like it was, inappropriate. It's just, the joke kind of went past her. It's about this kitty who's like fighting in the mirror, like she thinks she's fighting another kitty, but really it's her reflection. So she didn't quite get it, but other than that, you'll love it. Okay, but you guys don't.
Ninja Kitties and you're gonna win. Like you can't go wrong with
Ninja Kitties, you know, and I think you're gonna kill me because I think there might be a line in there that says I don't think it says judo chop, but I think it says judo kick.
Oh, you're kidding.
You know, we're just living up the stereotype. So, but Todd, thanks for joining us. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I love having you here. And for those of you watching, thanks again for watching. You are watching, if you forgot, you're watching the Financial G-Spot on the Whatever It Takes Network. I'm Robin Crane. I'll see you next week.
The Financial G-Spot is also available for download on iTunes and Stitcher. See the link in the description below.